Time for business news now with Madison Reedy. Hi, Maddie.
Hello.
Fonterra, now, they were wanting to sell Tip Top business. Where are things at there?
I checked in with Fonterra about this morning, and they say that they're currently mulling a number of offers to buy the Tip Top business that are on their table at the moment. Now, they say they have a number of them, but they obviously wouldn't tell me how many offers they've received and who they're from. It's a very confidential process here that's being led by the investment banking firm FNZC. Now, these bids we do know were received by the interested buyers back in March. On March 11th was when the tender process closed, although revised bids are expected to land on Monday. So a decision on who they'll pick as the buyer of Tip Top will obviously come after that, but they wouldn't give us, again, an exact timeline or when they plan to have a deadline to pick one of those buyers. Now, Tip Top was put on the block last year. It's part of Fonterra's wider plan to slash about $800 million of debt this financial year and cut capital expenditure by about $221 million. It's reviewing all of its assets. Tip Top was just one of the ones that were put on the block pretty early on in that review. And they say that they're selling Tip Top specifically because it requires a level of investment beyond what it's willing to make. So it's decided to flick it on. Although a former Fonterra employee did tell me earlier this year, they spoke to me on condition of anonymity. They said that Fonterra had significantly underinvested in its Tip Top business and its ageing factory in South Auckland. So one could guess that an interested buyer is more interested in the brand rather than any machinery or factory assets.
Interesting. Let's move to crude oil prices, a 6-month high. So what is that going to mean when we go to fill up our cars?
Unfortunately, it's not good news for anyone who is having an extended Easter break and looking to return from a road trip probably later this week. The price of Brent crude oil rose 3.2% today and more so overnight last night. It's currently buying at $74.30 a barrel. And now this is because the United States says that it's going to reinstate sanctions on countries that buy oil from Iran. Now, Washington originally gave countries like China and India exemptions on financial penalties, those sanctions last year. But they've now said that they're not going to renew those exemptions next month on May the 1st. Now, that came to a surprise to the market, so obviously it caused prices to hike. And obviously this decision by the United States, its desire to essentially choke off any revenue that Iran makes from oil, that's obviously going to limit supply, and with limited supply comes higher prices. Now, I put this for a local angle. I put this to the chief executive of Z Energy, one of our country's largest fuel retailers, earlier today, and said, hey, will this hit us here? He said that if these recent increases do stick around for, say, the next couple of days, it's probably going to cause them to rise prices at the pump here.
OK, so what else happened on the markets today?
The NZX Top 50 index closed up about 0.5%. That was a rise of 45 points to close at, drumroll please, 10,004 points this evening.
We finally got there.
We finally got there. So that is the first time that we have ever smashed that 10,000 point mark of the NZX ever in history. The New Zealand dollar is a bit less exciting. That's buying at 66.7 US cents, 93.6 to the Australian and 51.4 to the British pence.
I feel like we should have had a sort of tutor and some ticker tape. OK, thanks, Madison.
I could have had some party poppers in here.
Exactly. Madison Reedy with business there.